How would you respond to critics who would say, oh, you're just going to try to profit off your daughter now?
No one's forcing me to do this. That's not true that she wants to make money off of me. All are just here hating on me for no reason. Me and Rice Gum are friends. Like, I want to make my mama proud. You guys are not doing anything with your life. I'm only 9 years old. You're like 21, but like my house is like way. I mean, it's lit and all, but my house is way bigger than yours.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. I totally understand that.
Bitch, shut the fuck up. I'm 9 years old. You look like 21 or some shit, and I'ma smack your auntie. But one day I woke up, I said to myself, I ain't gonna be broke no more. So I got up and I started working hard, moving bricks, and now we be living in the hills. See that view? Lil Tay just got verified. Y'all hoes said I wouldn't make it, but bitch, look, I'm verified now. Lil Tay, the youngest flex of the century. This female kitchen is bigger than your whole entire living room, and I got 4 more houses. I dropped 200 racks on this car, and I'm only 9 years old. I got the keys to this car. I got this Gucci lip roller. This shit cost me $6,000, and I'll be using it to brush off all y'all raggedy ass hoes. I'm only 9 years old, but I'm the youngest flex of the century. Me and my boy J. Cole, I'm here flexing all these broke ass haters. Thumbs up. Just block me. I didn't do anything to you. You don't even care about me.
Hey humans, it's Hannah. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a topic that is a little different than the normal video. But I very much need to talk about this Lil Tay situation because it is a little more disturbing than we all think. And I do honestly, very much in my opinion, kind of wonder if something much more sinister is going on behind the scenes. Really quick note before we get into it today, I just want to remind everybody that I do have a Patreon. So if you would like extra perks, if you're enjoying my channel and want to support me, that's a great way to do it. But you also get extra perks for joining. We do Netflix parties, mid and upper tiers get an exclusive additional video every single month that's way more focused on just a true crime story. But I also have polls over there. There's a private Discord for Patreons only. There's a lot of stuff over there. So if you are interested in joining my Patreon, please go check it out. The link is always in the description right below the video. Without further ado, let's get right into talking about this weird Lil Tay situation. Tay Tien was born on July 29th, 2007 to her real estate agent mother, Angela Tien, and her lawyer father, Christopher J. Hope. She was born in Atlanta, Georgia, but at an early age, she moved to Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada as her father was Canadian. Angela and Christopher were never married or anything like that. They were just dating, and they shared custody of Tay after they broke up. They broke up before she was even 2 years old. In early 2018, like January, Tay would first go pretty viral on social media. Her name was Tay Tien, but she acquired this rapper name and her persona, which was Lil Tay. So that is what most people refer to her and know her as. The reason Lil Tay was getting so much attention was because, well, she was only 9 years old. But in spite of her young age, she would refer to herself as the youngest flexer of the century.
You already know what it is. Lil Tay, the youngest flex of the century. I'm only 9 years old, but I'm richer than all y'all broke ass haters. This female kitchen is bigger than your whole entire living room, and I got 4 more houses. Y'all haters are already older than me, but y'all still talking shit. I'm a 9-year-old millionaire, and I be smoking dope, bitch. Shut your mouth before I smack you, auntie.
She would make videos of herself in luxury cars, designer clothing, usually nursing a big brick of cash and carrying it around or throwing it around in her videos as part of the whole shtick. She was well known. She did make videos of her quote unquote rapping, but went viral because she was 9 years old and would swear and use other harsh language in her videos.
Ooh, Lil Tay out here bullying in the trap house. Me and my Billy buzzing on a whole lot of gang shit, and we be moving bricks. I'm only 9 years old, but I be flexing your mama's ram. Fuck the Smith & Wesson. We keep a big chopper on us on the streets. Bitch, if y'all trying to mess with us, I'ma shit it on your mama. We had a whole lot of gang shit.
In one video, for example, she's flexing all of her cash next to this insanely expensive car, a Mercedes-Benz 550 SL specifically. And this car, she says in the video, it's $200K. Based on a Google search, it starts at over $100K, so I would not be surprised if it was up to $200K for this car. Another video shows her on the rooftop of this huge home overlooking LA, and again flexing and bragging about how rich she is. Around this same time, we're still in very early 2018 here, she got a lot of attention yet again for starting a feud with the YouTuber RiceGum. RiceGum has millions of subscribers here on YouTube and has been somewhat controversial in the past, but is known for roasting people pretty well, and he then in turn react to Lil Tay roasting him, and it started this kind of feud, and that also gave Lil Tay a lot of attention and quite a few Instagram followers. She was in the hundreds of thousands. During this time, Lil Tay was still living in Vancouver, Canada with both her mother, Angela, and her half-brother, Jason. Remember his name because he is also an important part of the story. But as her social media started growing so rapidly, the three of them moved from Vancouver to LA. They were, of course, on the hunt for talent agencies. They wanted Tay to be able to take off and have a career as a very young social media influencer / rapper. It was a few months later, though, in April of 2018, where Tay went massively viral. Like, she was gaining traction at this point, but it was this event that made her blow up. So this video from TMZ starts to go viral because Lil Tay in the video gets into a fight with Danielle Bregoli, aka Bad Baby. If for whatever reason you don't know who Bad Baby is, you may know her as the Cash Me Outside, how about that girl from Dr. Phil. She's kind of made a name for herself as a rapper and other social media influencer. She's separated herself from that Dr. Phil segment since then and now goes by Bad Baby. So on this day in mid-April 2018, Lil Tay is hanging out with her friend Woah Vicky at the Americana Mall in Glendale. Also of note, Woah Vicky is another social media influencer. She is known for also being crude. She has used the N-word in the past several times, but says that her excuse for that is that she is quote unquote 25% black. Of note, during this time, Lil Tay had also claimed to be part black. Lil Tay had also used the N-word once or twice in some of her videos, but she has since apologized. I know there's also probably some nuance to that considering she's only 9 years old. It's not really important to this story, but anyway, Lil Tay and Woah Vicky are hanging out at the mall outside, and here comes Bad Baby. Bad Baby and Woah Vicky had past beef because Bad Baby accused Woah Vicky of using a racial slur against Bad Baby's friend at a birthday party at one point in the past. I know this is all a little confusing. Try to stick with me here. TMZ happened to be there filming and got the whole thing on camera. On this video, Bad Baby and Vicky start confronting each other. Bad Baby saying basically like, drop your bag, let's fight. And they are like threatening to get in a physical altercation with each other. There's a bunch of guys around as well, friends of the group. The two of them, it looks like, are literally about to throw hands when the camera pans to Lil Tay, who notably is way smaller than all the other people in this group because she's 9 and the rest of them are older teenagers. But Lil Tay starts talking shit to Bad Baby, and it does look like a fight is really going to break out. But it doesn't. People stop them before anything actually bad happens. Bad Baby starts to leave, Lil Tay calling her a bitch after her. It is a 2-minute video on TMZ. I will see if I can insert it here so that you guys can watch this for full context. I may not be able to though if it is copyright claimed, but I will try. If I can't include it, I will link it down below. So if you want to go watch it, you certainly can. This video just blasts Lil Tay all over social media. Lil Tay reportedly had about 300,000 followers before this event. She would gain hundreds of thousands of followers within the following days, and within a week, she would have around 2.5 million Instagram followers. Think about that. She gained several million followers within a week. However, it was later revealed to no one's great surprise that, you guessed it, this entire fight between Bad Baby, Whoa Vicky, and Lil Tay was completely staged. If you look back at the video, it's quite obvious. First of all, TMZ being there at the exact moment a fight breaks out is pretty convenient, as well as the fact that if you pay attention to Whoa Vicky, especially at the beginning of the video, she's got like a huge grin on her face. She looks like awkward and uncomfortable, like she knows it's staged and she's trying really hard not to burst out laughing. So that staged fight paid off fantastically. Lil Tay got millions of Instagram followers from it. Let's take a look real quick before we move on at Lil Tay's YouTube channel, which currently has only 2 videos on it. It did have more videos before all this happened, but they have since been deleted. So the first video, entitled Jake Paul Interviews Me About the Bad Baby Fight, currently it's sitting at 1.6 million views and was posted on April 21st, 2018, a few days after the fight. The video is very obviously staged as well. Lil Tay is trolling Jake Paul, mocking him about how small his house is. Jake Paul is clearly playing a character of his own during this video.
I'm the youngest flex of the century, and I'm only 9 years old. What are y'all doing with your lives? Y'all only hating on me because y'all broke and jealous.
The second video on the channel is titled The Truth About the Fight and is just a sit-down talking head video of Lil Tay. This video has 2.7 million views as of writing this script. It was posted on April 30th, 2018, a couple weeks after the staged mall incident. You'd think that this video would be her coming clean about the fight and how it was staged and everything. I think it was a little bit of clickbait, saying the truth about the fight, because she does not come clean in this video whatsoever. She doubles down, continues to talk about these other people. It looks like she's almost reading off a script. She's still talking shit about Bad Baby, but it benefits all of them to continue this illusion of a feud.
She just started talking shit and she didn't like make any moves because she was waiting for the audience to pull out their phones. She was clout chasing, and I saw the fear in her eyes, but she was determined because she just wanted to get some extra clout.
Now, if you have never heard of Lil Tay before watching this video, all of this that I've talked about so far probably seems very, very strange. Like this child being put in this world of older adults, older teenagers and adults, and being the youngest flexer of the century, starting feuds with other celebrities. If you think it sounds strange, it's because it was strange. It wasn't just this fight at the Americana Mall that was staged. We would learn quickly that everything about Lil Tay up to this point had been fake. Rumors started that Tay's half-brother Jason, he was 16 in 2018, as well as their mom. Lil Tay and Jason share a mom, but they have different dads. Rumors started that Jason was the one setting all of this up to make Tay famous. Allegedly, Jason controls all of Tay's social media accounts. even to this day, directs all of her videos, proven but an allegedly leaked video of Jason coaching Tay about what to say in the videos, and then he would direct them. This wouldn't be surprising considering you're supposed to be 13 to have an Instagram account, and Tay was only 9 at the time, so perhaps that's why Jason was controlling the accounts. But what's sad is that those close to the family reportedly talked about how mean Jason could be to Tay. On at least one occasion, he allegedly made her cry, telling her the work she was doing wasn't good.
This shit cost me 10,000 and
I
this
said stop saying 10,000, 2,000, 3,000, 2,500.
Lil Tay be popping on YouTube right now.
You're gonna be like more ignorant.
What do I say?
We're not going to get too much into the Jason saga in this video, but again, of note, it's really interesting. Jason was obsessed with social media as well and obsessed with going viral. He, before all this, tried to do exactly what he had Lil Tay do. He tried to go online and start feuds with bigger YouTubers and other influencers. He would try to make videos of him insulting them to see if he could get a reaction, get a subsequent feud, and become famous and viral on social media. But it didn't pan out. He never went viral. Nobody really cared about what he was saying to these other people online. But he knew that if a 9-year-old was doing the same thing, that would catch a lot more people's attention. So it is kind of speculated that that is why Tay got involved in all of this in the first place, is that her brother kind of knew that since she was so young, if she was behaving badly online, they could get real viral and get real money. But I won't ignore the fact that regardless of how bad it looks for Jason in this situation, he was also a minor at this time. And I talk about this on my channel all the time. I am very much of the belief that minors, even older teenagers, are still children. Jason was only 16, so while what he was doing wasn't great, none of the adults in their life stepped in to stop this. So, of course, at the time, everybody started to turn to Angela, Tay and Jason's mom. People online started blaming Angela for all this. They started criticizing her for allowing Tay to go online using the inappropriate language that she was using. People then started accusing Angela of exploiting Tay on purpose for the fame and money. All these rumors went so far that Tay and Angela ended up on Good Morning America. And in this interview on Good Morning America, Tay defended her mother. Tay said that her mom was not forcing her to do anything and that she wanted to do all of the things she had been doing up to this point.
How would you respond to critics who would say, oh, you're just going to try to profit off your daughter now?
No one's forcing me to do this. That's not true that she wants to make money off of me. My mom doesn't run social media. I use my own Instagram.
These images will live on and follow you for the rest of your life. Is a 9-year-old really capable of making this kind of decision?
This is my decision. I'm happy with what I'm doing.
We'll talk more about that later, but if you guys know me at all, you know my opinion on that. I have a hard time believing anything that Tay says when the person that is responsible for her well-being and has gotten to this point because of the adults in her life, it's hard to believe that she's not making this up to please her mother, especially when her mother is right next to her. Of course, she's going to say that. So all of that was set up. As for the cars and the luxury homes, that was all set up as well. Mom was in real estate, dad was a lawyer, so it's not like the family was in poverty or anything like that, but they certainly were not as rich as Tay was bragging about. The Mercedes, that real expensive Mercedes that Tay made the video with, that was actually Angela's boss's car. That allegedly they used for the video without her boss's permission. Other videos of Tay with super expensive cars. I think there's even one of her with a Rolls Royce. Again, they borrowed these from other people. As for all those glamorous views of LA and the giant houses that they would film the videos in so Tay could flex, well, remember Angela She was a real estate agent in LA. That gave her access to very giant luxury homes. And when they were in between buyers, she knew when the right time was where they could go inside and film, pretend that somehow that was Tay's home. With these unfavorable transgressions and the very negative attention the family was receiving, Angela was reportedly fired from her job as a real estate agent. However, another source I read said that she resigned, but it sounds like she was forced to resign after this. I don't think her boss liked it, that she kind of took his car for a while without her permission. Anyway, regardless of these setbacks, the family continued in LA, and Tay was still famous. She still had millions of followers on social media, especially Instagram. There is, again, a whole side plot here that I'm not going to get too far into the details of, but I will just summarize briefly so you can get the full picture. While Angela, Jason, and Tay were in LA, they were on the search for a manager and agencies and all these people that could help Tay get more famous, all these people that wanted to work with Tay, but they would dick around everybody in the business, for lack of a better phrase. They would discuss many, many deals. They would be working out contracts with different agencies and managers, but they would never seem to sign anything. Angela would get these agencies to even take them out to dinner, and they would all go out to dinner, discuss a contract, discuss a deal, and really make it seem like they were going to sign and that they were going to work with them for Lil Tay. And then at the very last minute, like the day before they were supposed to sign a contract, they would just cancel it. Again, very strange behavior, but it is also speculated. I have no proof that this is a fact, but it's speculated that they did this because Tay didn't have a work visa to work in the US as they were Canadian. And so because of the lack of work visa, Angela was putting off signing any contracts officially. They couldn't actually sign yet. Like I said, not incredibly important to the story, but just something to note that their behavior just kind of gets weirder and weirder. Then the start of Lil Tay's downfall starts. Here we have 5 people that you need to remember. Lil Tay, obviously, her mother Angela, her half-brother Jason, but then also Lil Tay's father, Christopher Hope, remember his name, as well as the manager, Harry Son. They kind of form 2 sides of what should happen to Lil Tay. We had Lil Tay, her mother, and her brother on one side, her father and Harry Son, the manager, the talent manager, on the other side. And these 2 sides started to butt heads. Tay's mom and brother want Tay to continue this facade. They want to continue her character of being a flexer, of being inappropriate, of doing all these things that adults typically do, except as a young child who's now almost 10. Christopher Hope and Harry Son, on the other hand, wanted Tay to be rebranded into something more professional. They believed that this character she was playing, while it was going viral right now, in the long run would not give her a successful career. So they wanted her to be button up and be more professional and kind of put this character in the past. They wanted her to start a real music career and stop with the flexing. Remember, Christopher Hope is a lawyer too. So he actually files a court order ordering that Angela return Lil Tay back to Vancouver. The reason he was able to do this was because Tay had allegedly missed 72 days of school since moving to LA. Christopher wanted Lil Tay to do several things. Obviously, he wanted her in school, first of all, but he wanted her to trademark her business, get Lil Tay trademarked. He wanted her to get a work visa so that she could work in the US and it was more above board. And last, he wanted to set up a trust for Lil Tay so that a portion of every single dollar that Lil Tay made off her career would be put into that trust and it would be her money for when she got older. Something very typical of child actors and things like that. We do want to protect the child's rights, and while they can't can't have the money legally right now. We want to put that away for them so that parents in Hollywood, I know we talk about this with like family vlogging, but the rules are set in place in Hollywood very well so that those children are not purposely exploited by their parents. They have that money put away for safekeeping. In early June 2018, a couple months after she goes viral, her Instagram account and YouTube accounts are wiped of content. This was supposedly to kick off her rebranding by her father. But while everything was wiped on her accounts, she did leave an Instagram story. If you're not on Instagram, Instagram stories are like temporary stories. They disappear after a while. And she left a story that said 2 words: help me. Just white text on a black background. Help me. Additionally, her YouTube channel's bio also says simply help me, but we don't know how long that's been there, but it's still there to this day. That part of this story gives me actual chills. We assume at this point that Lil Tay was returned to Canada with her father, but the story does not end there. Fast forward a couple months to October 2018. Tay's Instagram account suddenly comes back to life, this time with very ugly accusations against Christopher Hope. The accusations were that Christopher and his wife were abusing Tay up in Vancouver. There were again, of course, rumors that it was Jason behind these posts, since he had been controlling Lil Tay's accounts up until this point. So it was believed that Jason posted these in an effort to, get back at Christopher for taking Lil Tay back to Vancouver. These claims against her father are, as far as I understand, unsubstantiated. I want to be very careful about that, because if it had come from Lil Tay herself saying that she was being abused by her father and stepmother, I would definitely 1000% believe her. I always believe victims before anything else. But this story and this whole case is not that simple, and she has not come out and said that herself, and the timing of it is just very suspicious. One source said that at this time, Angela denied the claims that Jason posted these and claimed that they were hacked. I'm not sure if that is true or not. I didn't find it in other sources, just to be clear. At the same time as these accusations about Christopher come out, Christopher also gets doxxed. All of his contact information is shared publicly on another Instagram account. His place of work was easily discoverable after that. Some information about his workplace was posted as well. And according to Christopher, he got absolutely bombarded with harassment, threats, phone calls, messages, etc. Now, again, I want to make it very clear that I am on neither side in this particular part of the story. I have no clue whatsoever whether the accusations against Christopher are true or not. The GoFundMe does have some pictures that are allegedly proof of it. We'll talk about that in a minute. But on the other hand, it just all seems so weirdly convenient. On the other hand, Christopher is the one that seemed to have Tay's best interest at heart more than Angela, where he wanted her to have a real career and wanted to set up a trust for her. Like, up until this point, it seems like Christopher was the more responsible parent. And then the second he takes her away, all these accusations come out shortly after. Like, it all just seems very strange to me. But on the other hand, I never want to discount accusations that serious right away if we don't know one way or the other. So I'm just saying I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, but it's definitely one of the most disturbing parts about this story. The whole family is radio silent for a couple years. In 2021, Jason, again, allegedly, whoever is controlling the accounts, posts more on social media. Posts again on Tay's Instagram about the abuse towards Tay by her father, Christopher Hope. He then launched a GoFundMe to raise money on Tay's behalf. Now, like I kind of touched on a minute ago, I'm not going to show you any of the GoFundMe. You can very easily find it on your own if you want. It's very long and detailed. Again, it was made by Angela probably Jason as well. On behalf of Tay, a lot of money has been raised. Just an FYI, don't go if you are sensitive to CA. I hope everybody's sensitive to that, but like if that will trigger you, don't go, because he actually has pictures of Tay with injuries on her face and stuff like that. But again, it's all like allegations that I don't know. It's just, like I said, I don't want to comment too much on that because I can't decide either way. The Daily Beast would soon report that Tay's promoter again was claiming that these allegations on her Instagram were due to hackers and that the accusations were false. Her manager, remember Harry Song, we talked about him earlier, continued to imply that it was Jason and Angela and that they were also the ones to make up all the allegations against Christopher in the first place. So again, a pattern of them saying that they've been hacked, which I guess is possible, but also just like strange given the current circumstances. Other than these accusations coming out and Jason trying to start like a free Lil Tay campaign online, other than that drama, the whole family has been radio silent on social media. Her actual Instagram, like videos of her and stuff, she hasn't actually made any videos of her flexing or anything like that since 2018. Everything went silent and we hadn't heard from them in like 5 years. This, again, allegedly, I'm so sorry for all the protective language, but I have to be very careful, especially in a case that is currently still going on. But allegedly, this is probably because Chris and Angela are going through custody battles and nobody can come to an agreement. And so it probably takes both parents to sign off on Tay being put into various career positions, and one parent or the other is not signing off on it. Plus they're having custody battles. Like, I think that is most likely the reason for her disappearance for so many years. So now that brings us to today. As of filming, this came out 6 days ago on August 9th, 2023. It is August 15th, 2023 when I am filming. After years of silence on Instagram, Tay suddenly posts a new post on her page. This time, it is a death announcement that seemingly a family member posted this, explaining that Lil Tay has died at the age of 14 and her brother Jason as well at the age of 21. I will read that now deleted post to you. It is with a heavy heart that we share the devastating news of our beloved Claire's sudden and tragic passing. We have no words to express the unbearable loss and indescribable pain. This outcome was entirely unexpected and has left us all in shock. Her brother's passing adds an even more unimaginable depth to our grief. During this time of immense sorrow, we kindly ask for privacy as we grieve this overwhelming loss, as the circumstances surrounding Claire and her brother's passing are still under investigation. Claire will forever remain in our hearts, her absence leaving an irreplaceable void that will be felt by all who knew and loved her. I know they're referring to her as Claire in the post, which is weird. We'll talk about that in just a second. I forgot to tell you guys at the beginning that there's some weird name debates in this whole thing as well. But either way, this post, I remember I read this news right when it happened because it was on my news feed. I didn't even know who Lil Tay was, but I just thought it was so weird. Anytime somebody very young dies, of course, we're curious. But immediately everybody had questions. I remember I went to go find the original post while it was still up, and I looked at the comments, and instantly all the comments were people like, nah, something happened. Something else happened to her. Nah, they did something to her. All this weird cryptic stuff. And that's what really piqued my interest in this case and made me want to do a video deep diving it, because something else is happening here. Something else weird is going on. I mean, the accusations alone, the accusations against her father, but then also against her mother in the past, claiming that she exploits and uses her kids. When we were reading the headlines at first, it was also just like, when it's somebody so young, you instantly assume it was S-word. But then when we find out that Jason had reportedly passed as well, it seems unlikely that they both did this. So then your mind goes to accident. When no cause of death is laid out in the article, it's often S word or just something that they can't explain yet. So then people went to accident or that the parents did something to them. So I do understand everybody's concern. So was it an accident? Did the parents do something? What the heck happened? And then her managers and other people that were close to Tay would not comment on it. They were making really cryptic statements. Her father, they had gotten in touch with somebody who claimed to be Tay's father, Christopher, and he said that he couldn't comment on it right now. One of her previous managers, I believe it was Harry's son, implied that he couldn't confirm that the rumors were true and that he didn't think that it was true. Like, it was such a mess. Everybody was just so freaking confused, and there was no seeming confirmation. People were investigating deaths of people her age in her area, trying to figure out if there was some sort of accident and if they could connect that to her. The coroners didn't have any record of it, though. It was just very confusing. And the reason it was confusing is because, yet again, this was all a hoax. Lil Tay is not dead. She's very much alive. It took 24 hours later, though, for Tay to make a statement. They claimed, yet again, that her Instagram account had been hacked by a third party. I'll read you what Tay told TMZ. I want to make it clear that my brother and I are safe and alive, but I'm completely heartbroken and struggling to even find the right words to say. It's been a very traumatizing 24 hours. All day yesterday, I was bombarded with endless heartbreaking and tearful phone calls from loved ones, all while trying to sort out this mess. She also told TMZ my Instagram account was compromised by a third party and used to spread jarring information and rumors regarding me, to the point that even my name was wrong. My legal name is Tay Tien, not Claire Hope. This only added more questions than answers to the whole thing. While we were all very relieved to find out that Lil Tay was alive, her brother as well, and that no tragedy occurred here, at least in the somebody losing their life sense, people continued to have questions. And of course, as always on the internet, conspiracies started. Why did it take Lil Tay 24 hours to come out with a public statement when she was getting bombarded with phone calls from concerned friends and family? Wouldn't it have made more sense to make a statement much sooner to make everybody relax? That could be explained, however. Maybe it just took that long to put a statement together. Maybe it was so overwhelming at first if she was hacked that she needed to talk to lawyers to put out a statement and her family and everything like that. And maybe she was just so emotionally overwhelmed that it took that long to make a public statement. So, and then according to every source I could find, her legal name, she was born Claire Aline Key Hope. But in this statement, she said that her legal name is Tay Tien and that whoever hacked her account couldn't even get her name right. I don't know what her real name is. I will be super honest. I don't know if she was able to change it because she wanted her mom's last name or what, but it seems like both of those are her name. Just another weird piece of the puzzle, but I have no answers for that one. So again, rumors went wild. People seem to fall in two different camps. Either they took it at face value, she was hacked. Like, she was hacked. It just took them that long to put out a statement. And interestingly enough, Meta has recently come forward and substantiated these claims. A Meta spokesperson told TMZ that they had confirmed the hacking and had been working with Tay personally to get her accounts back. I guess now that she's over 13, they could probably work with her directly. And that does seem like pretty good evidence to me. I don't know why a Meta spokesperson would say that if it wasn't true, unless they paid the Meta person to say that. that, which I guess is a possibility. But the other question that so many people have is, was this a publicity stunt? Did the parents set this up? Did Angela or Jason, who's now an adult, set this up in order for Tay to make a comeback? They were ready for her to finally return to the internet. I assume Jason and Angela are the ones in control if this was a publicity stunt. This is definitely something in the flexing character that, you know, the stunts and the setup stage stuff. It's way more in line with that than the more professional career that Christopher wanted for her. So a lot of people believe that this was, again, all set up and planned because she was going to come back, but wanted to come back with a bang, wanted to come back with everybody talking about her. That would also make perfect sense. If it weren't for the Meta spokesperson coming out and confirming it was a hack, that's personally where I would fall into. It seems very much like a publicity stunt to me. So that's kind of everything we know so far, and that's where we land on it today. I guess it'll become clear if it was a publicity stunt pretty quickly, because Tay will soon then come out with a new video or a new something, new song or something fairly soon if it was in fact a stunt. And if she doesn't, then I guess that answers our question, and she was probably hacked. I think I have a hard time with the hacking story because they always say that they were hacked, at least like supposedly. They kept saying that in the past when the accusations were coming out about her father, they had always been hacked. That was always their excuse. So it just seems like a weird pattern, but perhaps they were hacked multiple times, or perhaps the accusations they weren't hacked, but then this time they really were hacked. There's so many possibilities here. That's not really what I want to talk about for my final thoughts, though. While all that was weird, this really just brought back into the spotlight something important, right? I still want to talk a little bit about what is going on behind the scenes with Lil Tay. I'm worried about Lil Tay, who is still a child. I do believe that she has been exploited at the very least, if not way more. I can't speak on the abuse allegations, of course, because we don't know either way. But the most important part here is I want to remind everybody that Tay was at this time a child and is still a child. She's either 14 or I think she might be 15 at this time. I find it so incredibly disturbing that a 9-year-old was being coached to act in this way, to act like an adult. It's confusing. What she says in all these videos is objectively very cringy, but it's not cringy, at least to me, because she's so little. It's creepy almost. It's weird to make a child act like a character of themselves, not like a child actor who's pretending for a movie or a TV show and playing a character, but then getting to live their normal lives the rest of the time. There's this weird part of this where she's being forced to pretend like she really is like this, even though she's clearly not. I worry that this then makes people see Lil Tay as an adult. Even as a 9-year-old, then people were treating her like an adult. And then when Tay is a normal child and breaks down and cries because her brother is being cruel to her, it doesn't make any sense to us because we think that she should be acting like an adult. But I guarantee you she's not. She never was. She's a child, just like any other child. I'm sure this was hard for her as a 9-year-old. Can you imagine? I mean, I have a hard time with the hate that I receive online. I'm not complaining about that. Everybody does. Like, everybody who has any sort of following receives hate and terrible messages. Like, it's sadly just part of the job. And I'm way smaller than Tay ever was, especially on Instagram. Like, my few thousand followers on YouTube compared to her millions, I can't imagine the amount of terrible messages that she was getting. Even if Jason had control over them, I'm sure some of them got through to her as well. And as a 9-year-old, yeah, she flexes and pretends like she's super tough, but I can guarantee you that was all a facade and she was being forced to play this character. And I can't imagine the turmoil that she went through when she was doing all this stuff. As a teenager, I have no doubt that she's dealing with self-esteem, self-confidence, her changing mind, her changing body and all that, just like every other teenager.
All y'all haters, like, I'm trying to make my mom proud.
You don't look very happy.
I mean, that was before. Like, now I'm happier than before.
What's your reaction to all of the haters who are basically online bullying your daughter?
We choose just not ignore them. She has a passion and a dream.
I just want to humanize this, and I just want people to remember that I don't care how much Tay says that she did this all on her own free will, and how much she says that her mom didn't force her to do this. It was all her idea. She wants to do this. She wasn't old enough to actually make those decisions. Even if she thinks she was, I can almost promise you 10, maybe 15 years from now, Lil Tay is going to make a YouTube channel or a TikTok or whatever social media is in 10 or 15 years on her own and talk about how she was exploited. Talk about how she was coerced into doing these things.
Haters out there, I know y'all are Rice Gum fans, but just stop reporting my videos. If you actually think Rice Gum is beefing with a 9-year-old, then you just might want to think about that for a second. Me and Rice Gum are friends. Just stop reporting my videos. I have a dream. I'm trying to make my mom proud. Like, y'all are here hating on me. You have a family. Go enjoy that. Why are you wasting your time reporting my videos and taking them down? I'm trying to chase my dreams. I'm trying to spread positivity, and y'all are just here hating on me for no reason. Me and Rice Gum are friends. Like, I want to make my mama proud. You guys are not doing anything with your life. You may not see it, but I'm trying to accomplish something, and you guys are preventing me from that. All y'all haters, like, I'm trying to accomplish my dreams. If you don't like me, just block me. I didn't do anything to you.
If the accusations against her parents are true, maybe even by that time she'll have completely broken them off and doesn't want to talk to them anymore. Do you think, in your opinion, that Lil Tay would have gone online and done any of this if her brother wasn't the one who came up with the idea, and if her mother wasn't the one who enabled them both to do it? Do you think she would have? Because I don't. What I'm trying to say is that I can't see Tay as anything other than the victim here. She was a literal child when this happened. Whether she was 9 or 10, it doesn't matter. She was not old enough to make these decisions, and the adults around her had a responsibility to keep her out of the public eye until she was old enough to make that decision on her own. Yes, I do think that teenagers can make that decision. Like, I think that teenagers who make TikToks and become famous that way, do I think it's a good thing? No, but I do think that they are, at least when you're approaching adulthood, you kind of better know the consequences of your face being plastered all over the internet. And I don't think a 10-year-old, 9-year-old could possibly understand that. And I think the adults failed her. Jason, I have mixed feelings about. Again, he was also a minor. And I think that while he's responsible for his actions, I think that it was the adults that still enabled him to do this to Tay. I mean, sorry to harp on this, but think about this for just a minute. She's 9 years old, and the adults around her and her older brother have already put this persona online of these very negative things. She's already been in trouble for saying the N-word. She's already been in trouble for swearing online as a child, for flexing, for just being cringy, for just being annoying, for roasting people. That's online forever. That's online forever. And she was 9 years old. Do you think that she is able to comprehend the fact that that is online forever? When she's 25 and random people on the street still recognize her as Lil Tay and give her shit for being such a flexer and being so dumb, And she did not choose to do that. It was set up for her. I think this is a very important discussion to have. And with what we're finding out about conservatorships, with Britney Spears, all of those cries for help were real. The conspiracy theories in the end were true. Britney Spears was being controlled. She came out later and said that, yes, I was crying out for help and I needed help and I wasn't happy where I was. And people also kind of coerced Britney into becoming famous before she had any concept of what the consequences of that would be. And look at what happened to her. And she is clearly also struggling in some aspects of her life. The Help Me Instagram story, I mean, even if that was Jason just trying to get Chris in trouble, which very well may have been the case, but what if Tay did put that message out? I mean, I don't want to be too dramatic, but it is possible. All I can say is that in spite of what the future holds for Tay, I do truly, sincerely hope that she is safe and that she is well and that her parents are treating her with the respect she deserves. And she's also given the space to be a kid. And I have hope, my optimistic side says that maybe she disappeared because they realized that and let her be a kid. But sadly, I sincerely doubt it. And I doubt this is the last we'll hear about the Lil Tay saga.
You have to come in there tonight. You really do. There's no other option here.
We don't have to go inside right now. We can just go in my car. We'll just drive somewhere and talk about it, okay?
I'm not going.
I think you should come with me and we'll just talk about it.
Angela, you gotta follow what the judge said. You have to encourage her. You have the responsibility.
That's the way it is.
No, you didn't. You literally lived like 6 minutes away, but you never even came to visit me, so you don't even care about me.
Well, I want to talk about these things.
Come on. It's not going to get...
That's all that I have for you guys today. Please like the video. Check out my podcast, Thanks, We Hate It, that I do with Mickey Atkins, if you're interested in my more personal life and personal opinions and stuff like that. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Thank you so much to all of our patrons on the screen right now. Top tiers are special shout out to top tiers: Colin Holmes, The Deck of Cards, Michelle Valdovinos, Tom L, Little Kittle Cat, Mitchell Schaefer Meyer, Mike, Alice Paul, Brittany Phillips, Momo Neon, Marita 144, Sage K, Elderly Hipster, The Puppy Hag, Rebecca Jackson, Toby, Carter, Comic-Con Anime and Gaming Convention, Sarah the Crazy Fish Lady, Blood for the Koi, Maxie, Ellison Luna, Julietta, Tiny Mighty Bookworm, A Bunny Apparently, Leon Vanek, Literally Lacey, Elliot Fink, I Am In Your Walls, Habromania, Cyberdog Investigations LLC, Vicky Cat, Amy B, Tickerch, Dead Without the E, Ball, Olivezilla, Chara, MH Dave, Ami, Lindsay R, Miss T, Ordinary Alpaca, Lou George, and our newest, Shauna Smith.